Before he became a legend, he was born into war. In the harsh lands of Sparta, weakness was not tolerated. Children were not raised, they were tested. From the moment they could walk, boys were trained to fight, to endure, to survive. Because in Sparta, life itself was preparation for war, and Leonidas was no exception. He was not raised as a prince of comfort. He was forged, like every other Spartan, through pain, through discipline, through sacrifice. Cold nights, hunger, endless drills, no luxury, no softness, only one purpose: to become a warrior. Because Sparta did not need kings, it needed leaders who could stand in the front line. And Leonidas did exactly that. He fought, he endured, he proved himself, not through words, but through action. And over time, he became something more than a soldier. He became a symbol of everything Sparta stood for: strength, honor, discipline. But even in a land built for war, nothing could prepare him for what was coming. Because far beyond Sparta, an empire was rising. An empire that would soon come for all of Greece. To the east, power was growing, relentless, massive, unstoppable. The empire of Persia expanded across continents, led by one man, Xerxes I, a king who did not ask for submission. He demanded it. City after city fell, kingdom after kingdom bowed, because resistance meant destruction. And now, his attention turned to Greece. Messengers were sent. A simple demand: submit, accept Persian rule, or be destroyed. Many hesitated, some agreed, but Sparta did not. Because Spartans did not kneel. They did not surrender. They did not negotiate weakness. When Persian envoys arrived, the answer was clear: defiance, absolute. War was inevitable. But Greece was divided, unprepared, outnumbered, and facing one of the largest armies the world had ever seen. Leonidas knew the truth. They could not win in a traditional battle, not with numbers, not with force. But war is not always about numbers. Sometimes it's about position, strategy, and sacrifice. And Leonidas was about to make a decision that would define history.
There are moments in history where everything changes, not because of victory, but because of choice. Leonidas chose to stand, not with thousands, not with an army large enough to win, but with 300 Spartans, hand-picked, elite, warriors who knew exactly what they were walking into. This was not a mission to survive. It was a mission to delay, to resist, to hold the line. The location? Thermopylae, a narrow pass where numbers meant less, where strategy mattered more, where a small force could stand against an empire. And so, they waited. When Xerxes arrived, he saw what stood before him: a small force, insignificant. He expected fear, submission, surrender. But what he found instead was silence, confidence, defiance. The Spartans did not retreat. They did not negotiate. They stood. And when the battle began, the impossible happened. Wave after wave, the Persian army advanced, and wave after wave, they were pushed back. Because discipline beats chaos. Because training beats numbers. Because Spartans were not ordinary soldiers. They were warriors shaped for this exact moment. For days, they held, against overwhelming force, against impossible odds. They became something more than men. They became a symbol. But even the strongest defense has a weakness. And sometimes, it doesn't come from the enemy. It comes from within.
A man betrayed them, a local who revealed a hidden path, a way around the Spartan position, a way to surround them. And when Leonidas learned the truth, he understood. This was the end. There would be no victory, no escape, no survival. Only one choice remained: to stay or to run. Leonidas made his decision. He sent most of the Greek forces away, to live, to fight another day. But he stayed, with his 300, and a few others who refused to leave. Because some battles are not meant to be won. They are meant to be remembered. The final battle was brutal, relentless. The Persians attacked from all sides. The Spartans fought with everything they had. No retreat, no surrender, only resistance, until the very end. And Leonidas fell, not as a defeated king, but as a legend.
They lost the battle, but they changed the war, because what happened at Thermopylae echoed far beyond the battlefield. It inspired Greece. It united divided cities. It showed that even the largest empire could be resisted, that courage could stand against power, and that sacrifice could shape history. The story of Leonidas spread, not as a defeat, but as something far greater, a symbol of honor, of defiance, of standing firm when everything says to fall. Because victory is not always measured by survival. Sometimes it is measured by impact. And Leonidas changed everything. Because even today, his name echoes through history.